Hello and welcome back to another video with me, Meoni, looking at more things added in patch 7.3, this time once again to submersibles, this time from the Startail Shelf, which obviously requires a ship rank of 134. This is the Overhead Studio Light, which is a wall-mounted light that was shown very briefly in the patch notes. So let's go look at what this looks like. It is brand new, recently acquirable since, it's only been the past couple of days where people have been high enough rank, with the EXP allotment to actually obtain these. So it's going for quite a lot of gil at the minute, upwards of 8 million gil, and probably going down at some point in the next few weeks. All right, let's have a look at this item. It says, this simple fixture casts ample light for portraiture when ceiling lamps fail to suffice. So it is a dyeable furnishing, and this is what it looks like. It is wall mounted, as you would imagine. And yeah, it's a pretty, well, how do we describe this? Utilitarian? It looks very, very metal, very shiny metal, like anodized metal almost. It's got these bolts at the top here, and rivets and things. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more militaristic maybe, or a little bit more utilitarian, a little bit stronger looking, then this is definitely going to be up your alley. It is something that I can imagine people getting multiple of in a row and then creating something like Magitech related or something like that. It does have some interesting light on this. It almost looks like those filament lighting, strips that you can get in real life, or like a corrugated sheet of plastic basically with light built behind it. It's an interesting light box. In terms of its light then, so if we turn down the house lights, we will get a better demonstration of how this light performs and how it, if it actually projects light for once. It does appear to create light downwards, but it is not a very bright light unless for some reason, like you can, I suppose you can put your character closer to the wall. It's actually quite a nice light. I was looking at it like this and going, oh, it's like backlit, because the actual light source is here, a little bit further back. Ooh, this is going to be really interesting actually in studio situations with like a nice green screen background. When you want like a nice soft light, I suppose it's a white light, but it's quite soft. It's not overly bright. I quite like that actually. That's going to make for some interesting G-pose situations. And of course, the higher we put this up on the wall, the less of that light is going to be hitting our character or whatever the actual target object is. Yeah, it's quite handy having a downlight because we've got a lot of forward-facing lights, and this is going to be incredibly welcome. If you want to create something Magitech or Garlean, maybe, that could be an option. In terms of the color then, it's got this really nice sort of greeny blue, very nice sort of powder coat. So I would imagine that that's going to carry over to all of the other colors that we can make this. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. Looking really good in dark colors like black. Yes, I definitely like this. I can see why people are going so crazy for it. Not only is it a new item, but it's going to have some really nice G-pose potential, but it actually looks pretty good. We don't have lights like this, and especially wall-mounted ones. The sudden realization that these will not actually apply to partitions like this. Oh, that's so depressing. Yeah, if you remember, this was my Fallout style set that I created for a video, or a couple of videos actually, and I loved it so much I kept it. It's that kind of sort of futuristic, but not really retro futuristic sort of military thing. See how this looks. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah, I can definitely imagine using this in this sort of situation. These are the copied factory walls, by the way, the fences. In fact, a lot of this stuff is a copied factory near related furnishings. Yeah, so all I would need to do is dye that kind of like a brown color. Something like a cocoon brown, for example. That looks alright. It's a little bit clean, but yeah, or something darker, Oppo, or something like that. Yeah, what they need to give us is dyes that change textures. That would be interesting. I don't know how easy that would be to pull off, but yeah, I really, really like this item now. I'm probably going to end up using that in here. So if we move a partition all the way back then to the point where it's nearly clipping through the wall, and we have our light above, and we turn off the user interface. That is a really, really nice picture. I really like how soft that light is, and that is incredibly useful, especially if you're looking for something that has that kind of vignette towards black there without really any extra effort using GPOs at all. And of course you could make that even cooler. So yeah, I really like this, and I'll probably end up using this for some pictures and things. So that alone would be the use case for this, but if it wasn't for the fact that the thing is also very pretty. There are other light fittings that we can pull the same effect off with, but I don't think they're probably as easy to use as this. Is just stick it on a wall and then put a curved partition with a white background there. But yeah, I really do actually like this item for both use case scenarios. Actually visibly inside your house, it's a nice looking item, especially if you're going for something a little bit more rustic or metal, like I showed you upstairs in this small house that I'm using as a set, but also in GPOs as well. Really, really cool. Let me know if you've got this one yet. Definitely my advice would be to pick this up if you can, and try and make some gil off of it if you've got some submersibles. And I wish you the best. Much love. More videos on the way from 7.3 onwards, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. I really like this. This is so cool.